Hello everybody and welcome back for episode 6 of the Doll Symposium. As always, I am your host, Shizusan, and my lovely assistant is the very beautiful Kanata. So without further ado, why don't we just start today's topics? Alrighty, so let's get right into the thick of it. So today's episode is going to start with Dolphy Dreams, as always. And really not much to mention here today for Dolphy Dream news. Now, I know we missed a week last week because I was working on an unboxing video. So this week, I figured would be a catch-up, but there really wasn't much going on this week either. More Smart Doll stuff than Dolphy Dream stuff, but not so much in general as a whole. But either way, why don't we just get started? So Dolphy Dream news, right? I just want to put a reminder back out there that the Snow Miku 2020, the parade outfit, the Snow Parade outfit, is still up for pre-orders for Volks USA and Volks International, and it will end on March 8th. Now, do remember, you can also pre-order these at the Volks affiliated stores as well. So if you did want to do it somewhere other than Volks International or Volks USA, the affiliate stores is another spot where you can pre-order this outfit. So the only real news that's coming out of Dolphy Dream this week is an interesting one, actually, is that Volks USA has posted in this picture here that they're hiring, and they are looking for an online promotion / social media person. So if you did want to apply and you do want to work for Volks, obviously you have to be of age, but you also have to be able to commute to their area, so which means you have to live in California, in whatever area they are in California. I think it's Long Beach. Was it Long Beach? No, it can't be. Actually, I don't know. Wherever it is. But if you go on Facebook and you go to the Volks USA page, there's actually a post in there with the apply button. So if you want to apply, send it right over to Volks USA. Good luck to all of you that are interested in working for them. But that really is everything for Dolphy Dream news this week. So why don't we just move on to some Smart Doll news. So Danny Chu has posted in this picture here that Smart Doll Independence has been completed. Everything has been tweaked, and she is in production currently. So what does that mean for us? Is that there's a possible release date for maybe March, maybe early April, sometime around there. But do remember, we are still waiting on Chitose Multiverse, which is supposedly coming out soon as well, and quite possibly an anime collaboration, but there is no guaranteed information on that. It's just a possibility. But if you are interested in Independence, should be sometime soon as she is in production. We'll probably get a solid date, probably sometime in March. That's my guesstimate at least. So the only thing, another thing about Independence is that Danny Chu posted that, not in this one, but in another post, that she has been tweaked slightly. Now, I couldn't really tell much of a difference other than the fact that it looks like she has a little bit more blush or a little bit more pink in the cheeks, and that her eyes are ever so slightly bigger. Now, I could be totally wrong on this, but that's just my observations. I'm not really sure if those are the actual tweaks that he made, and they could be actually very minute to the point where maybe only Danny notices it, and the only other people that can notice it is those with a very keen eye. But I do not have that, so that's my guesstimate on what the slight tweaks are. But I digress. Let's move on. So Danny Chu has also posted a very interesting post in this picture here, which is Smart Doll G02 head, which is the semi-real face head, the same one that is used for Genesis. Now, a lot of people have apparently told him that the head sculpt itself, like the shape, is kind of masculine looking, and it could be used for a boy doll. So as you can see in this picture, it does look, I think, pretty good. I think it would still need some tweaks, but I can definitely see this being used for a boy head. So Danny is asking the rest of you, what do you think? Should it be released as a boy head or a feminine head, or maybe even a hybrid? I'm not really sure what it means by hybrid. Maybe it's going to be a blank head that you get to put together yourself. I'm not really sure, but hybrid is an option, unless he just means hybrid as in Cortex with vinyl hands and vinyl head or vinyl bust. Not really sure, but put it down in the comment section down below what you guys think. Should it be femme, male, or hybrid. Also, send it out to Danny Chu on his Instagram or Twitter so that he knows as well. I do know that sometimes he does read the comment section, so if you do put things in there, he might just see it. But I definitely want to see it, so put it down there. I'd like to know what you guys think. Anyways, let's move on some more. So Danny Chu has posted in this picture here of, remember a couple months ago, or more like a couple weeks ago, we mentioned about a bunch of new smart dolls coming out. So this one is actually Envisage, which is one of the ones that I thought was like really cool. But this one is in Coco, and I still think she looks really cool, actually. It's a very cool head sculpt. So this is Envisage in the Coco color. Now, one thing Danny Chu wanted to put out there is that he was interested in possibly making like a file format, most likely a Photoshop, of high resolution pictures of doll sculpted heads. And he would like you, the viewers, to actually download those files and maybe custom make makeup or eye shapes or whatever kind of things to the face. Basically a general face up, your ideas of what these dolls could possibly look like. So you never know. I mean, it could be like how the whole naming thing goes, where, oh, this doll needs a name, and a lot of you give suggestions, and he might actually pick a name, and that name is actually used. So likewise with this, if he were to put out there file formats for individuals to download and do their own face-ups on there on Photoshop, would you be interested in this, yay or nay? Put it down in the comment section down below. I'd like to see how many of you are actually good at this kind of like stuff with editing photos and things and are really interested in doing face-ups. I think this is a really cool idea, as it definitely would help out Danny Chu and the staff in making other choices or different choices, or picking yours all together on how to collaborate as a community and make up new doll face sculpts that would be sold. So definitely interesting. Also let Danny Chu know in Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, any of those avenues. Definitely let him know. Now let's keep on moving. So next up, Danny Chu has posted in this picture here for accessories. So this accessory I think is really, really cool. So it's basically a shoulder holster prototype thing, right? In leather. And as always, everything on Smart Doll is functional. So the pocket that you see there is actually functional. It can open, you could put things in it. Now, because it's a shoulder holster, it's supposed to holster a gun in there or some type of firearm. However, the way that it's made right now and the way it is made to fit the doll, it won't actually fit one. So if you had like a 1/3 scale, like let's say pistol or handgun or something like that, it actually won't fit in that pocket. Now, this is just a prototype. I don't know if Danny Chu has any plans on making the pocket bigger to actually fit one, or if it's just there for looks. Either way, even if it's just for looks, I think it looks pretty cool. I might actually just pick this one up. But yeah, I mean, what do you guys think about this? I think it's totally cool. I am on the camp of let's make this, let's make it happen, whether or not it does fit a firearm or not. I think it just gives that, you know, it gives that like Nathan Drake thing. Like, have you guys ever played Uncharted on PlayStation? If you haven't, definitely check it out. It's a very cool game. Nathan Drake always had like these shoulder holster things. Who else had it? Like Tomb Raider, Lara Croft had it, although she had the double holsters. So I don't know. In general, I just think it's really cool. I definitely am looking forward to this prototype. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below about this, though. Now, let's move on to the next one. So Danny Chu has posted in this picture here of the new Smart Doll Wedding Dress 2020 edition. And as always, every single wedding dress that he has released has always looked absolutely fantastic. I don't know where he gets his ideas for the design every time, or if somebody in his office does it, or his staff, or whatever you want to call it. I don't know who picks it, but every year it's been pretty damn awesome. And he's actually asking us, what do you think about this wedding dress? Do you think it should be strapless or with the straps? Put it down in the comment section down below. I don't know. I think either way it looks cool, strapless or not. But if you ask me personally, my opinion is I think straps. I kind of like it with the straps. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know. Put it down in the comment section down below. Don't forget to let Danny Chu know as well on his Instagram or Twitter. Now, let's keep on going. So since we're already on apparel, let's do this one. Danny Chu has posted in this picture here of another new apparel, which is the knit camisole top, which is to be released sometime this spring. But Danny wants to know, are there any other color options you'd like to see this in? So obviously, this looks really cool in white in this picture, and it's a really safe color as it doesn't stain or anything of that nature. So I'm actually really excited for this, as this is a cool casual shirt. But what other colors would you guys like to see? Now, I've mentioned this every single time this option has come about of, hey, what color do you want? I'm a big fan of purple, almost any shade of purple, but most specifically like lavender. So I would like to see this top in lavender as well. It's nice and white, lavender, maybe some form of a red, close to pinkish, maybe in between pinkish and red. I don't know, like a magenta. Is that really between pinkish and red? I'm not really sure. Okay, so either way, what do you guys think for color-wise? Ooh, turquoise would be cool. Maybe turquoise. I don't think we have any Smart Doll turquoise colors. That would be actually kind of cool. Let me know what you guys think color option-wise in the comment section down below. Don't forget, as always, let Danny Chu know as well. Now let's keep on moving. Okay, so Danny Chu has posted in this picture here of the new front zip sports bra. In the color gray. Sorry, I don't know why I couldn't think of that. So it's in the color gray. So we already had this set in, I believe, a limited white, which was out for like, I don't know how many people got their hands on that one. And then black. So I actually have the black one, and I think it looks super cool. I really like it. Maki's wearing it right now, and she really likes it. And I am totally digging this gray one as well. So some things to note about this, though. So this one is going to be released in this gray, but this particular gray is made with a pigment dye. So the pigment dye, I don't know the full technicalities on it. If you want to read it on Danny Chu's actual Instagram post, he goes into a little bit more in-depth discussion on the pigment dye. But what I do know is that it is possible that it could stain your doll. Like the way that it's made, apparently there's some kind of powdery substance that's on the color that could rub off on the doll. So definitely read Danny Chu's post for more specific information on that so he can explain it to you better. But either way, I think it's really cool. If you put it on your Cortex doll with a regular Cortex bust, I'm sure it's not going to be that much of an issue. But if you do have a vinyl doll and you put it on a vinyl doll, definitely be mindful that it could stain. Now, that leads me into the next bit that I'm going to talk about in a few seconds, but I just want to say that this one is actually going to be rated between, for staining wise, it's a medium risk of staining. So, speaking of medium risks, right? Because I said it leads into the next thing, Danny Chu has posted in this picture here of a new info. So every now and then, Danny Chu does these posts where he wants to update us in the community or update anybody that's interested in Smart Doll about Smart Doll itself, whether it's the size of the dolls, the pricing of the dolls, the way they're made. And for this particular one, he wants to talk about discoloration and staining. So the vinyl that you see on these girls here and the Cortex even has the possibility to discolor. Now there are very different, I guess, ways that it can discolor. Now, if you, I highly suggest that you read this article that Danny put out. It's only like 4 little picture pages. It's not that long, but it's a very good descriptive answer as to the discoloration thing. Now, he also puts in the same post about staining as well. So staining is definitely a thing, and I've mentioned it every single time somebody brings it up or any single time that I talk about staining on this or that or this or that. Now, staining is a big issue with dolls, whether it's Smart Doll or Dollfie Dream or A-Zone or whatever you get. Any kind of vinyl doll or even plastic dolls are susceptible to staining due to heavy use of color dyes. Now, I've said it multiple times that Smart Doll is very good when it comes to staining because of the way that the vinyl is made. However, and I said it many times, I don't know how many times I can exaggerate on this or emphasize this, but Smart Doll is not invincible. It can still stain. It's just the best option out of all the other dolls out there right now, that it holds its own better against staining. It does much better job of prevention of staining because of the way the vinyl is made, plus the fact that all the testing that goes into Smart Doll clothing of the products, testing it to see if it stains and deciding whether or not to release it that way or not, and then putting a warning on it. So prior, Danny Chu was limited in colors because depending on what kind of dye or color that's used, it's most likely to not stain, and it's easier to make a good, accurate representation of that color without it staining. But that really limits you in the colors that you can use. So Danny Chu wants to use more color options when designing clothing, and that leads into more risk factors of staining clothes, especially the color of black. So he is coming up with a new color guide on clothing that's going to be on all clothing, and it's going to be a risk factor for colors, which is small, medium, and large risk, I guess you could say, of staining. So as far as I know, there's 3 levels, basically. Whether you want to call it small, medium, or large, or low, moderate, high, it doesn't matter. There's going to be 3 steps to it. I don't know the official naming of it. I know he posted it, and it's in his actual post. For the life of me, on the top of my head, I can't remember what it was. But either way, clothing from now on should have some kind of rating on there. If you notice that it doesn't, definitely send out an email to the Smart Doll staff via their website. Let them know, hey, this one hasn't been ranked or whatever. Now, when this ranking system will actually roll out for every single product, I don't know yet. I don't know if it actually went into implementation yet, or if it will be in the near future. But either way, just keep an eye out for it. Just like the one I just talked about before, the front zip sports bra in gray, that is going to be a medium risk for staining. So I know I took a long time explaining this, and I really didn't need to, I guess you could say, but just go to Danny Chu's Instagram. As I said, he has a full info sheet on there. I think it's like 4 slides worth of info on discoloration and staining. It's a very good read, and it's very helpful and very informative. Definitely check it out. But that's really it. That's everything for this week's episode of the Doll Symposium. So let's move on to my favorite part, the community shout out. So we do have one participant for today's episode, and it is actually a recurrent, a second time poster. So this post, I can't talk today. This picture right here is posted by our friend Jade Bratz 18. Now, as you can see, it does say in there, Happy Valentine's Day, and it's a little bit late for that. I know they sent it to me a lot earlier before, and I didn't do an episode last week, so it wasn't posted last week when it was much closer to Valentine's Day. But I told everybody that your emails that you send me will always be posted. It's just late because there was no episode last week. But anyways, let's read their message. Dear Shizusan, first off, I want to thank you for featuring my picture in your video. I really appreciate it. I also wanted to share another picture, which at this point might be a little late, but I want to wish you and your family and all your followers and friends a happy Valentine's Day. Thank you very much, Jade Bratz, for the happy Valentine's Day wishes. It should have been shown last week, but again, we didn't have an episode last week, and that's why it wasn't on there. But if you do want to follow, those of you that are looking at this picture, if you want to follow Jade Bratz, you can find Jade Bratz at JadeBratz18 on Instagram, JadeBratz18 on Flickr, and JadeBratz18 on DeviantArt. The dolls pictured there is Hatsune Miku and Megure Luka, both from Dolphy Dream. Both of them look really awesome. I'm curious, how did you get those wings? What are those? Are those... I feel like they're paper. I'm just curious. What were they? Put it down in the comment section down below. Like, did you kind of edit them in, post picture, or they actual wings that you kind of found and put on? It looks really cool. But I definitely like this photo. Thank you, Jade Bratz, for participating in this week's community shout out. But that ends today's episode. That's everything. If you want to be featured on the community shoutout, remember, send your applications for the community shoutout to my email at dlwshizusan@gmail.com. There are rules. Remember, a picture of your doll, whichever doll or dolls you want to feature in the picture. Let us know what base doll you used. Like in this one, it's pretty obvious that this one is Hatsune Miku and Megure Luka, if you're a Vocaloid fan at least. And then a small message that you want to give to the community, as well as your information on where everyone can find your beautiful photography or your beautiful work. Remember, put in the email also, if there's anything you don't want me to say, make sure you make it clear, don't include this in the email or anything like that. And also, make sure you keep it PG. This is a family-related channel. Nothing like really too crazy, or else I can't accept it, unfortunately. But that really is everything. Thank you everybody for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And we will see you guys in the next video.
This is our time, this is our life. Sometimes all you need is a smile to get by.